Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Shay. I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari.
I'm Tyler, part-time seller on Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, and behind us, chewing away furiously, is the puppy, Luna.
Yes. If you guys can see her, normally she would not be in the videos, but she had several moments this morning and she couldn't calm down, so she is behind us chewing. So if you hear heavy breathing or chewing, or if you randomly see a dog pop over, you know, that's what's going on. So anyways, today's video, we are doing a closet critique of some, I guess, celebrity closets, I guess we could say.
I guess that's what we're calling them.
So, you guys probably have seen Poshmark does collabs with different celebrities, and you'll see the drop and it'll be this whole thing, but there are actually celebrities on there that have not been part of that collab, and they've been pretty searched recently.
Yeah.
So we came across two of them. We thought it would be fun to kind of go through their closets and look at their closet as if they were just an everyday posher, and how we think their closets would have fared and what they should be doing better or what they're doing really well. So yeah, it's going to be all from the husband's perspective, because that's always fun to do, and you guys seem to like that. So yeah, I think that'll be fun.
All right.
Should we mention who they are?
So we're going to do
Retta
and
from Parks and Recreation. So that's going to be the first one. And then the second one, make sure you guys stay for this because it's definitely going to be funny, is Trisha Paytas, which is a YouTuber, if you don't already know, and kind of new to Tyler. So
I don't know who she is,
yeah, so
admittedly.
This is going to be fun. So make sure you stay for that. But yeah, okay, so let's start off with, I guess I should probably say, if you like this type of content, if you like reseller videos, if you like haul videos, what sold videos, and we try to give tips as often as we can, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give the video a big thumbs up, and make sure you comment down below and let us know what you thought of this type of video. We love doing this type of thing. It's really fun, and I would love to do closet critiques for you guys as well. So let us know how you feel about closet critiques. We would love to hear in the comments. All interaction really, really, really helps our channel. So please, please, please make sure that you share, comment, all of those type of things. It really helps us. But yeah, let's get into the husband closet critique.
So we've actually already looked at them.
Yes.
And so for Retta, my first thing I noticed right off the bat is that she models all of her own clothing, which makes sense because it's her clothing.
Yes. So these are 3 pros and cons. And first pro is modeling. I'm going to just say from a posher's perspective, so you guys don't come for us, modeling is generally not something that people recommend. Everyone has their own stance on that, but a lot of people will say that modeling kind of makes people feel weird because they see the clothing on a person, and for some reason that's like a weird experience.
I mean, also, if you're buying clothing that doesn't fit you, then you can't model it anyway.
I mean, we could try to have, like, Tyler model, like, an extra small women's crop top or something. Like, I feel like that might be a vibe.
You'll never be able to sell it because you'll have to cut it off my body.
But it could be a vibe. But in this situation, when they're selling something that clearly a lot of people are going to buy for who's wearing it, I think that's a really cool thing because you're showing that this is definitely their clothing. It's not just, like, as seen on. It's really, like, from her. You see in the photo.
I mean, it's just her closet. She's selling stuff out of her closet, which is more of the vibe that Poshmark is going for rather than the full-time sellers.
Rude.
Next is she lists the original prices. I noticed that. So a lot of this stuff is her own closet, so she knows what she paid. So she'll write that down when she can remember. And from what I can gather from Poshmark, that is important for the algorithm.
Really, from what you can gather,
yeah.
Yes. So what he's referring to is oftentimes the algorithm people claim is used to track things that Poshmark is already tracking in your closet. So you're going to find things in your Posh stats that will kind of give you an idea of what might be or popular theory is the algorithm is looking at. And one of those things is price off the original price, or discounted off the original price. Mine says 70%. I'll pop that up somewhere around here. But I often cannot find the original price, mostly because I bought this stuff at a thrift store. So unless I can actually find that original item, I might not be able to find it. But she's doing that, which is very good for the algorithm and very helpful. Not that she needs algorithm help, but if she was a regular posher, that's a really good thing that she's doing.
And then lastly, I noticed when I was scrolling through that she will mention where she wore it if it was on the TV show.
That is cool for me.
I mean, why didn't we think of this? Just be famous, darling. How hard? I mean,
as worn on my YouTube video, here's a free people top. Would that work for you guys? Because, like, I'm down. I'll do it.
Like, just obviously being famous is helpful for selling. Like,
So, like, what qualifies as famous? Like, we have a YouTube video, we have an Instagram. Like, am I famous now?
No.
Oh, damn. Well, I mean, anyways.
You're famous to me.
But that also for resellers, that also would qualify for like as seen on TV photo items. So if you found items that have been seen on a celebrity or as seen on a TV show, make sure that you're posting that. I have actually sold multiple items that have been seen on a celebrity. The one that comes to mind most recently was Stuart Weitzman shoes that were Jennifer Aniston's favorite, according to some article. I made sure I put a picture of Jennifer Aniston wearing them. I also made sure that I put her in the title. ASO is as seen on, so if you see that, that's what that means. But yeah, make sure that you're doing that, because just like it's good for Retta, it's going to be good for us to be able to use those names as keyword searches.
So moving on to the cons, where she could improve.
If she wasn't Retta.
If she wasn't famous. So she doesn't do a very good job of search engine optimization, doesn't have the brand in the title.
She is the search engine optimization, but yes.
Right. So if people were not searching for her, she'd have a hard time getting people to view the item, because it's often just this color top or these kind of pants, and it's not optimized for the brand or more technical, just packing it, the description and all of that.
Right. So for you guys as resellers who are looking for this to be helpful to you, make sure that you're putting the brand name as the first thing you put in the listing for a few reasons. One, if somebody isn't searching necessarily for the brand, but they want to know what they're getting, that's going to be really helpful for them. They don't want to have to click on the item to see what the brand is. That's just annoying. But it's also really good for Google searches. So Google is going to rank you higher if you have that brand name in there. So make sure you're doing that.
And then I did notice that she's literally taking pictures in her closet. So there's a lot going on. So there's her shoe racks and her clothes on the wall, and it's kind of, for me, it's a little bit busy. Just everything all over. A nice, simple standing against a wall or hanging up photo would be easier for me to process.
Yeah, so if you guys have a busy background and you don't know how to fix that, you can use editing apps. I think it's called background.net. I'll make sure I link it down below. And I just white out all the backgrounds for my photos. There's also Photo Room that a lot of people use. But it's also good for Google. Google will prioritize white backgrounds over the busy background thing. So make sure that you're doing that if you are struggling with sales. That is something that's very helpful. The app I use is free, and it's not perfect. It does make the photos look a little funny. So I only use it for the cover, but I think Photo Room and as well as Snapseed does a little bit better. It just takes a little bit more work, and I'm lazy, so
Yeah, she is. All right. So the last thing that I noticed that I didn't particularly care for is it's not a whole lot of pictures of each item. So it's one or two with the cover shot. So there's a couple different angles, but it's kind of not all of the item, which I didn't love.
Okay, so with items, what he's kind of alluding to, it sounds like
poorly,
is you want to make sure that you get all the angles of your item up, because as much as I don't like to think that buyers will scam you, if a buyer claims that there is a flaw on part of your item and it is not listed with a photo, Poshmark is more likely to side with the buyer, because there's no way to prove that flaw was not there when you sent it out. Obviously, things can still happen and, whatever, but protect yourself the best you can and show every angle so that the buyer knows what they're getting as well. So
yeah, protect yourself, because Posh is not going to do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, that's true for life. Just protect yourself, because other people are not going to go out of their way to be nice to you.
Right. But you knew this Retta before.
Yes.
I didn't know who she was. I just saw it on a Google search. And
how have you've never seen Parks and Recreation?
I have not. But were you excited to see that she had a Poshmark closet?
I mean, I was intrigued because Donna is Donna.
Yeah.
And awesome.
But not interested in shopping it? No?
Well, for me personally? No. I mean, she doesn't cater to my clothing.
I mean, okay, you got to market, Retta, so work on expanding. No, just kidding.
I'm more of a Ron Swanson kind of fashion choice guy.
Oh, so we have to keep an eye out. Ron Swanson, you've got a customer. Look at that. Okay, so there is one more closet we did want to share with you, critique with you, and this is a new to you closet.
A new to me person, and I honestly could have gone the rest of my life not knowing about this person.
So
it didn't. Why?
So it's Trisha Paytas. She is a YouTuber. I've actually watched a few of her videos. I'm kind of interested in the whole YouTube drama field, and she's basically the star of it. So it's quite funny. And you have now seen a video of hers, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
being forcibly subjected to that video.
So there is a dress in her closet that I want to mention before he goes to the pros and cons. It was sold for, I believe, $240 because it was featured in a video. Yeah, I think it was called
Jesus Rises.
Jesus Rises. It was an Easter video. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to link it because that's just funny. But yeah, so what were your first impressions of Trisha Paytas?
Not a fan. No.
Not your thing, not your cup of tea?
No. The world is full of all types, and that's perfectly wonderful, but we don't all have to get along. I mean, no.
But if you're a
nothing personal. I just, stop for me.
But if you're a Trisha Paytas fan, she actually does still have some items listed for sale. Unlike Retta, whose closet right now is sold out, but she does have items for sale. So make sure that you check it out. I will be linking both of the Poshmark closets below. So there's going to be a lot of links below, I guess, in this video. But so you can check her out, and if you want to grab stuff, you can.
Yeah, because your linking their closet is going to help them.
Hey, you know what? You never know.
I do know. I in fact do know. So first thing that I liked about her closet is she's seemingly honest and upfront about the condition of items. So there are a couple things where she took a close-up of the flaws or things that were potential problems on the item. And didn't try to hide that because online shopping, especially used items, you do always have the problem of having to trust the person.
Yeah.
To be upfront about what you're getting.
Yeah, so I actually really love when people do that because it makes me feel safer. And if I see a flaw, then I kind of feel like, okay, so this is probably the worst of it because, I mean, if they're sharing this with me, then they're not hiding anything. So it does make you feel better, and I'm sure that it makes the shopping experience easier for somebody.
So, she seemed responsive to comments. I don't know if she's running it or someone else is running it for her. I would guess the second, the latter.
Well, it does say things like, yes, Trisha did wear this, so unless she talks about herself in third person, I mean, you know.
Tyler doesn't have any problem with speaking in the third person. But I think it's probably handled by an intern somewhere.
Right, but as resellers, that is something that you may end up deciding you want to outsource. Comments do get overwhelming sometimes, and sometimes I feel myself just being like, oh, more that I have to respond to. You can outsource that.
Yeah, outsource. This is outsourcing.
He doesn't respond to a single comment. He might get the information from me, but he's never the one typing.
I do all of your measurements.
Never the one typing.
I do all of the measurements.
But anyways, so that is a good thing. If you're not someone that likes to comment quickly, you can always outsource that, and hey, it works for Trisha.
And then lastly, I did see that she has quite a few love notes about quick ship time and
great packaging.
Yes, dear.
You've got a notebook right here, so I can prompt you a little.
Yes, we did write these down. Yeah, so great ship time, great packaging. I don't expect that she's doing it. She's passed that off to somebody. As my wife has passed off to me.
Yes, but she is prioritizing the buyer experience. Whether or not she's the one doing it, she is directing that to be done, and I think that's really important. Make sure that you're making the buyer have the best possible experience they can, because it not only helps you, but it also helps the other sellers on the platform, because one poor experience can turn them off to the entire thing.
So I did want to ask you, what is she doing when she says copy on all of her listings? Okay,
so you wrote that down as a negative?
Yeah, I think
you didn't like it? Wasn't pretty?
Well, I just don't understand. Is it that she's copying it, or is it a copy of an item?
So when Poshmark released a new feature recently where you can basically relist your item as a new item. I think the purpose of this was to list another item that is similar to the item that you're selling. If you got two of the same items, things like that. And when you do that, it will say copy, because it does actually copy all of the information from that listing over to the new one. So that's what she's doing.
But guys, what time does a copy actually say copy? Just copy and paste, and it's this.
Yeah, so guys, if you are using that feature to make sure that you're keeping your items fresh and you're relisting them, or even if you're just using it to sell similar as the item was intended, make sure you delete that copy. And also, not that she's doing this, or I couldn't tell, but people do make sure you finish out the rest of the sentence. That copy does take up a bunch of your characters. So if you're using all the characters for your title, you do have to finish the title. You can't just delete copy and then have half words or half sentences, because that's just weird. Why would you do that?
Then the second thing that I noticed is that she has a couple of things that are not the actual item as the cover photo. And I don't know how I feel about that, because it's not the item.
Yeah, so for Trisha Paytas, this is probably okay because they are looking to buy her items and, you know, that's fine. But in a reseller world, oftentimes when we see resellers doing this, this is when you find a stock photo that is kind of like the item. Maybe it's a similar colorway, maybe it's a similar style, but it's not the item. Don't list that as your cover photo. That's very confusing. As we all know, buyers don't always look at everything. So make sure that
Darling,
cover
you
photo...
found this out. Somebody bought a used purse because they thought it was a new purse.
Yes. So make sure your cover photo, while is the best, putting its best foot forward, is the actual item. You can do similar photos later in the listing if you want to do that. I've done that before if I can't find the same colorway, but it's the same style. And I will say in big, bold letters, please note the third photo does not match the colorway of this item. Please see other photos for the actual color.
Yeah.
But don't do it often. Try to avoid it. Yeah, just no.
So last thing I noticed, I noticed this for both of them, but for Trisha especially, she does not share. And she doesn't even have an intern doing it because it says 0.
It says 0 shares?
Actually 0 shares. So she's not a single time ever on her closet shared a single item.
Hey, I mean, Trisha, get it, girl, because you have like 4,000 listings and only like...
Oh, I can understand. Who has the time?
Yeah, if you don't need to, you don't need to, right? But for us, resellers, unless we're, famous like me, it's just...
Get over yourself.
Just kidding. But you do need to make sure that you're sharing your closet. That is super important. I always try to share 3 times a day. I actually outsource that because I just can't keep up with it. And
you can't be bothered because it's a time suck and you just hate it.
It is. And, everybody does it differently, but make sure that you are having your items shared. Make sure that it doesn't say like last updated and then a date, because no, just don't do that. Unless you're Trisha Paytas, and then do that because you're selling for.
I mean, if you're famous, so. That seems to be the silver bullet, the magic solution to Poshmark. Just be famous. Why didn't we do that sooner?
I don't know. I mean, we got to get on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. So guys, just share our videos over and over again, and just fake it till we make it. Just tell everybody that we're super famous and they have to watch the video. And then people will watch the video, and then it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I
think I'm going to give them both B minuses.
Oh.
I mean, they're kind of coasting a little bit on their closets.
Yeah, okay. Overall. They're making more money than most of us, I am sure.
Oh yeah, but they also are cheating a little bit.
So if they were not famous,
they're Poshmarking on easy mode. They'd be underperforming quite a bit. If they were not famous, they would be very, very underperforming.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. First of all, were these tips helpful for you, even though they are directed at the celebrities? But
don't quote celebrity. I mean,
well, they're not really directed at the celebrities. Is kind of what I mean. Like, they are celebrities, but they're not really directed at the celebrities because,
one of them is.
Y'all can sell it regardless. But is it helpful for you? Because it's fun for us to do, and I would definitely be interested in finding more celebrity closets too.
Oh yeah, that's totally how I wanted to spend a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is. But anyways, let us know in the comments below what you think. Let us know what you think of their closets. Is there anything that you guys noticed that we may not have mentioned? I would love to hear from you. And yeah, we will be back really soon with a new video.
Thank you all for watching.